Part 2. Hi guys, camera guy here again. Before I pick up where we left off, I realized I kind of rushed through a lot of stuff from that first week. Like, way too fast. And if you're trying to follow all this chaos secondhand, I probably made it confusing as hell. So before I jump back into things, and definitely check out my first post if you haven't, let me slow down and explain the people I'm living with a little better. As you know, I'm the cameraman for this weird local TV show in Mattoon, Illinois. The group I work and live with call themselves the Deal Finders. And they don't just like deals. They worship them. It's not just budgeting to them. It's like spiritual, philosophical, almost religious. I'm not good with money, clearly. So a lot of it goes over my head, but they take their deals seriously. Not everyone in the group is related. But Tony and Jerome, yeah, they're actual brothers. Everyone else is absorbed, adopted, converted. I'm still not totally sure how someone becomes a deals man. Let me break some of them down properly. So Danny is one of the weirdest dudes I've ever lived with. He barely talks, mostly just stands around with that intense stare that makes you feel like he's waiting for you to confess to something you didn't do. He'll just be in the hallway at night, staring as you walk to the bathroom. No words, no blink, and nobody else reacts, like it's normal. But sometimes, completely out of nowhere, he bursts into this hyped-up, childish, playful mode, laughing, bouncing around, cracking jokes. It lasts a minute or two, and then he drops straight back into staring mode like someone hit a switch. His room's bare. Big bed, TV, dresser, blinds always closed. He leaves the house sometimes, but I don't think he works. I have no clue where he goes. Then you have Jerome. Jerome acts older, even though I don't think he actually is. He talks all philosopher, poet, prophet sometimes, and then randomly drops weird slang like, "Maine, I'm in the K-hole blood," and everyone just moves on like that was a normal sentence. Or he'll grin and say something insane like, "Call me the mole man the way I'm in these holes." And I just fake laugh because I don't know whether to ask questions or run. Also, he does not sleep. I have never seen him lie down, not once. He's either sitting on the couch with a beer or outside chain smoking like a gargoyle. He goes on mission trips, which is his deal finder job, spreading the ideals, recruiting, whatever. That's apparently why Tony hadn't seen him in 10 years. But that would mean he left when he was, like, 15? I don't know. Nothing about him makes sense. And then there's Tony. Tony is something else entirely. Imagine every parasocial figure you've ever admired. Celebrity, pastor, actor, influencer. Roll all of that charisma into one single person. That's what being around Tony feels like. When he talks, you listen. When he looks at you, you want to impress him. You want approval. You want to be useful. It's honestly scary how fast it works on you. Because when Tony flips that switch and gets angry, he's terrifying. Like, you took one wrong step and he might actually kill you. Terrifying. And the wild part is, he still has this whole complicated moral philosophy about deals and capitalism. He absolutely refuses to haggle, ever. He said to me once, dead serious, "Convincing people to accept less capital for their product is directly engaging in capitalist oppression." Like, dude, I barely passed my intro econ class. I cannot debate the ethics of clearance shopping with you. But in his head, it's all part of a bigger cosmic system of rules, and somehow all of that connects to the broken TV. So yeah, let's get back to the part where my entire sense of reality kind of unraveled. So last time, Tony had smashed his head into the living room TV because it betrayed him. I'm still not sure what that means. I didn't even get a chance to ask because he started pacing around like a caged animal, ranting and looping the same phrases over and over. Then his phone rings. He answers. And suddenly he's calm. He says his associate, won't say who, found a great TV deal. Perfect timing, considering ours was now a dead rectangle with a Tony-shaped dent in it. Jerome wasn't home. He'd mentioned mission trips a few days earlier, so I assumed he was out spreading the gospel of discounts or whatever. We start filming. Tony gets into host mode. For this deal, he says, we're gonna need the whole crew, which means we have to break our mysterious friend in the far room out of containment. Containment. Before I even processed that word, he marches down the hall and kicks open the forbidden door, the one he told me never to open. Inside, the room is destroyed, like completely annihilated. Furniture snapped in half, broken frames, deep gouges in walls. I had been hearing horrible sounds through that wall for days, and now I knew who the source was. Ben. Tony yells, "Ben, we're breaking you out." Ben steps out of the chaos like a bear climbing out of a cave. He's huge, heavy, muscular in that I could pick up a car if I needed to kind of way. And the air around him feels thick, like gravity bends when he moves. He smiles like none of this is weird. Danny pops into the hallway too in one of his excited modes, bouncing a little. So Tony pulls him into the mix too. We introduce him on camera as a new recruit, just because he hadn't been featured yet. Technically, he joined before me, but I guess that doesn't matter. Then Tony turns to me for the big roll call. With us, we have Ben, and he stares right at me. After everything he'd said earlier about my name, that neck grab moment where he told me I had no other name, I was still rattled. "Camera guy," I say. Tony nods, gritting his teeth a little. "Camera guy dealsman. My God, what a name." Not a joke, not a bit. He meant it. We all pile into the Deals mobile. Ben drives, which is kind of insane considering he was in containment 15 minutes ago. But honestly, he drove pretty normally. A little too excited maybe, but fine. We pull into Walmart, and I get this nice pan shot of the sign. Tony walks into frame and goes, "We have arrived in the accursed realm." Later in editing, I added the Dark Souls new area sound, and it actually slapped. Walmart is kind of an accursed realm, honestly. Danny and Ben walk in first. Ben's entire ass crack is out. I left it in the episode. Tony mutters, "I fucking hate this place," as he catches up with them. We hit the TV aisle, and that's where things get weird. We're comparing TVs, and they're dropping lines like, "If it's curved, then it's a deal," from Tony. "Now that's a goddamn deal," from Danny. "Bigger than mine, my dick," from Ben. It was funny, but also tense. Then Ben puts a hand on Tony's shoulder while making a point. Tony freezes. Something in him snaps tight. His eyes sharpen into this predatory stare. "Don't fucking touch me," he growls. "I swear to you." His eyes flashed gold, not bright, but like a reflection of something behind them. The air got weird, heavy, static. The footage from that moment looks corrupted, like the camera felt the tension too. And behind them, in the middle of the shot, Danny was just staring at me, hands folded, unblinking, completely still. Ben jokes it off, apologizes. Tony listens in silence. Then Ben makes a proposal. He'll pay for the entire TV if Tony lets him put his old one in the living room and he gets the new one. Tony stares at him for a long moment. Then he turns slowly and says, in this deep southern drawl, "It'd be in danger of becoming quite personal with my forehead. Very personal with my forehead." We all laughed nervously. It was either laugh or risk being the next forehead target. Ben teases him, "Are you crying? Zoom in on this man's eyes." So I zoom. Tony really is crying. "The TV betrayed me," he says, and I still couldn't tell if he was mourning or performing. Eventually, Ben picks a TV. We film a goofy walkout shot of Tony doing a twist, and honestly, it looked kind of cool in editing. On the way out, Tony points at this giant TV with no price tag. "Completely free," he says. We don't take it. Don't ask me why. I still don't understand deal finder logic. While we're waiting at checkout, Tony walks over to me and tells the audience, "If I ever meet Adam A. Walmart, he will not be safe from the crusade of the dealsmen. Not one soul will be spared." Then switches instantly back to happy Tony. So we head to the car with the TV. And then it happens. Ben pushes Tony's patience too far. He calls Tony an asshole for not playing along with his bit. Tony turns quiet, face unreadable. Ben grins and says, "What? Are the shoes coming off?" Tony stops, looks down, kicks off his shoes, one, then the other, and charges. This man moves faster than I thought human bodies could. 1 second he's by the trunk. The next, his fist is slamming into Ben's face. Golden arcs, like lightning, jump from Tony's shoulders down his arm and vanish into Ben's jaw. Ben collapses instantly. Not just knocked down, it dropped. Smoke rises off his face. He doesn't move for 5 minutes. I tried to go help, but Tony held out a hand without looking at me. "Don't." So I didn't. When Ben finally stands again, he's crying and laughing at the same time. Tony ignores him completely, climbs into the back seat with the TV and Danny and says, "Tony Dealsman got DA strat." Ben and I are standing outside the car. I point the camera at him. "This is Ben Dealsman," he says. I think this is it for me. I don't think this is gonna last much longer." He wipes tears. Our relationship as deal finders, horrible. He beats me at night, off. He beats me off. We're done here. I laughed nervously. It felt wrong not to. He gets in the car. They leave me. Again, I walk home. It takes almost a full day. And when I finally limp through the front door, there's a rave going on. Ben's dancing. Tony's dancing. Danny's doing whatever Danny does. There are people I don't even recognize there. And this whole EDM party happened without me. I see the footage of it later. But here's the weird part. Some of the people in that footage didn't exist yet. I wouldn't meet them until weeks later. Characters from way ahead in the show appear in the background. And I'm not in a single shot. I remember being there, playing Uno with Ben for hours. But the footage says otherwise. I don't know what to make of that. By the time I finally get home from my walk, something new is already happening. There are new deal finders in the house, new faces, new jargon, new threats whispered like gospel. Tony sees me stumble in, exhausted, and barely pauses. "Camera guy," he says, "we gotta go." "Go where?" I ask. He smiles, not the friendly smile, the other one. "Not Walmart," he says. "We're leaving the state." He slaps a hand on my shoulder. "Right now." And that was when I realized whatever I'd gotten myself into. This wasn't just a weird local deal hunting show anymore. It was something much bigger, much worse, and I had absolutely no idea where we were going next.